Hi, my name is Leah and this is my August books video, and it's late, it's dark. I have my trusty Buddha here with a little light and a little light source over there. Yeah, I don't know, I had a long day and I didn't feel like shooting this video. And then suddenly now in the evening I was like, let's do it. Why do we need bright light? It's kind of cozy. Talk about books in the night. Is it night? Yeah, in the night. So I have my I have completely lost my train of thought. I have my 4 August books with me. So let's get going. Number 1 that I finished in August was Game of Thrones, or Song of Ice and Fire rather, as the book series is called, and this is A Feast for Crows, book number 4, second to last that is published, obviously by G.R.R. Martin. And this was interesting because this is, to me, kind of the first book where you really start to notice some of the differences. While in the first 3 books I felt like it almost felt like reading a script. And this one, however, was like now like the Dorn storyline, which was very different, and even completely different characters as the POVs that don't even exist in the show, which was very like nice because I like to like read something that I didn't know. And still also at the same time we had this like other POVs that we well know, Jamie, Brienne, where I'm like, yeah, I recognize this. However, speaking of Brienne, her, of course, like travel is very different from what happens in the show, and I really enjoyed that. Whilst, Jamie, his is pretty much the same, a little bit different as well, but one of the main things he does, of course, going against the Blackfish, so to speak, and as far as I understand, the Blackfish is still alive in the book, which I love, because I think he was a really cool character, and in the show he didn't even have that much screen time, but I loved him, and I also really liked him in the book, so excited to see what's going there. Maybe he finds Lady Stoneheart. Lady Stoneheart was also in this, but I had heard so much about it, because like I had like previously sort of watched like videos talking about differences between books and show, but I don't ever truly paid attention, or I didn't want to, or I don't know, because like I couldn't recall so much. But Lady Stoneheart was one of the things that I really remembered as being one of the big ones, but she's here in like 1 chapter for 1 sentence. And so I was a little bit, oh, okay, that's it. So why are people raving about it? Maybe in the next book. However, the way I understand it, and I did not know that, in this book we're basically around King's Landing plus Dorne. So basically like south, and nothing from the north. So we had no Jon Snow. And what's happened to him? Did we have none at all? Because the funny thing is, I never truly like, it never occurred to me as I was reading, really. Because we were switching POVs constantly, but then like it's here in the end somewhere, where like before the appendix, I'm trying to find it, where it comes like, oh, what about Jon Snow? And I was very surprised by that. God, the appendix is huge. Give me a moment. There. It says like, oh, let me see if I can show that. Meanwhile, well, back on the wall, or something like that. And then it says like, hey, wait a minute. Some of you may be saying about now, wait a minute. Where is Dany and the dragons? Where's Tyrion? We hardly saw Jon Snow. Yeah, okay, we saw a little bit of Jon Snow. So, yeah, so that was surprising. I had no clue. So in a sense, this book, together with book 5, makes like 1 season or maybe 2 seasons in the series. So yeah, that was kind of, I had no clue. So is the next book that may or may not come out. Now I'm one of those people. I always joked about how you shouldn't stress the poor author, but it is a funny joke. Does the next book wrap it up, or does he need 2 more? And does the next book also need 2 books in order to just be able to follow all the storylines. I don't know. But anyway, okay, I'm rambling. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I think I gave it 4 stars. Dragged as with these huge books, it just happens. I think it dragged in certain places, but all in all, characters still fantastic. Writing obviously is fantastic, and yeah, and enjoyed reading it. So that was book number 4 in A Song of Ice and Fire. Next, I read book number 6 in the Expanse series, Babylon's Ashes by James S. A. Corey. So finished my second trilogy, so to speak, or Act 2 in the Expanse universe. I really enjoyed this one. I loved the climax. Can immediately say that was for, well, it wasn't my favorite thing. I don't know, there's a lot of good here. Like we have again a lot of interesting POVs. We get to be with many people. I have to say, Marco's POV didn't all too much speak to me, because I was just like, dude, you're so weird, you're so almost delirious, kind of like, I don't know, how can you be so narcissistic? I guess that's what it is, and not see anything beyond yourself almost. And yeah, but I did enjoy then Philip's ones when he started to see past that. That was kind of interesting. So, and obviously now I'm gonna say I love the Rocky crew. So I found out it's, I think, supposed to be Rocinante, the name of the horse in Don Quixote, but so Rossi it should be, but it doesn't sound right in my head, so I'm gonna continue to say Rocky crew as I have so far. So yeah, you just gotta deal with it. So the Rocky crew to me, again, I mean, I think they will always be the highlight. Although maybe one of my bigger highlights, maybe, I don't know, was having Christian Avasharala back. Oh my god, I just love that woman. And having her POV back was just, yes, thank you. Oh, everything she did, and like, even though she lost, or did she lose, like, you see she was hurt, right? And you can feel the loss and things like that. So, but she hasn't really lost bite, or maybe just a little bit, but it's still there, and sometimes it comes on even stronger. And I don't know, it's just such a nice kind of conflict that I really appreciate it, because like, even someone like her, she wouldn't just be unfazed by spoiler. Maybe I'll remember to edit that out. I saw it last time in my July video, and then I forgot to edit it out. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, but that was in the previous book. It's really difficult now when reading such a long series, trying to not spoil anything from the previous books and then still talk about what happens in this book. I think I managed pretty okay in my other Expanse videos, but yeah. So anyway, it makes sense that she's not unfazed by the shit that happened. I should say that, if I managed to edit the previous one out. And yeah, that was really cool. I also love having Bobby back, and Bobby for real being in the Rocky crew. That's just, yes, please. Why did I take so long? I don't know. I complained so madly. Was it book 3? I think it was book 3 or 4. I don't even remember now. It was one book that I didn't like all too much out of the 6, and all the other ones were fantastic. And one of the things that really annoyed me and bugged me was how they basically stepped on Bobby and mentioned her for one sentence, and that was it. And I thought, like, rather have her not be there at all than try to name drop like you know, like a cheap nostalgia trick kind of thing. Okay, anyhow, this book. So yes, Bobby action, loved it. Also, we got more on the Rocky crew. I enjoyed Alex, a romance thing, and yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. It's even, I said to my friend as well, it's for me a contender for the best of the series so far, because for me still the first book has so far been my absolute favorite, and none of the other books could topple it. But this one is pretty close. it's very close because there's so many good things happening here. We have all the right POVs that I'm interested. We have all the super cool characters back, like Christian, like Bobby, and it's just, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It's so good sci-fi, and then the action, like I said in the beginning, the climax, all that stuff is so effing cool. So, and I heard that some people thought it was a little bit anticlimactic, like what actually happens, how. Let me know, think, and not spoil. Yeah, it's just people thought some stuff like towards the end were a bit anticlimactic, but I didn't think so. I loved it. I thought it was a genius idea. I'm like, oh, that's how it happens. I enjoyed it. Like, I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. To me, it was more like that. So I thought it was really cool. Also, we have more space battles again, and he has a talent to write those space battles. Are just so exciting and so cool. And of course, having the Rocinante just being the badass spaceship is so cool. And also, we had like this. I think she was she in the book that I didn't like as well. She was in that huge ship, the Behemoth. Or that's the rename name, because the ship got renamed several times, where Clarissa was as well later on, and where she helped the mutiny for, oh god, what's his name? I don't remember, but for the poor guy that broke his back, and in the end, again, I guess, small spoiler for that book, but anyhow, so she helped there. She was first almost as mini antagonist and then came to our side, and something similar happens in this book, and I enjoyed her character, and we got to know a lot more about her that we obviously had no clue about, and I enjoyed that. So even like new characters were also interesting, and I liked the non-black and white thing. I mean, we have our dear James Holden. For him everything's black and white, and that's fine. That's him. Maybe he starts to see a little bit of gray, but especially with Naomi, of course. But the rest of the galaxy and the people, and especially the belt, like this really kind of grayish, and the real concern versus the absolute extremities that have been committed, and it's fantastic. It's just so interesting, and I was so hooked. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. 5 stars, can highly recommend. And yeah, I don't know, I don't dare say it's my favorite. Let's just say number 1 and this one are together my favorites. So yes. Wow, I'm rambling a lot today. It's already over 10 minutes. All right. Book number 3 that I read, Legends and Lattes. So it's a newer book. I don't very often hop on book trends because more often than not, it's not my kind of story. But this one I heard so much about, and when I saw like the 4th or 5th person recommending it on YouTube, I'm like, okay, maybe. So so I gave it a go. Also, I felt like I needed something as much as nice, Summer of Ice and Fire and The Expanses, like, they are dark and bad shit happens. So I was in the need of something cozy and warm and cute now, so I just wanted to show that. This is the cover on some of the books. Sorry. And here it's not the cover, obviously, but I still have it in here, which I kind of like. So, Legends and Latte is about our dear orc here, who is tired of killing. I was just thinking if there was a good sentence to start with. Viv buried her greatsword in the Scalward Skull with a meaty crunch. So she's tired of doing that. That's how the book starts. And instead she opens a coffee shop and serves coffee and lattes, and and basically we just follow this orc, this lovely lady, how she changes her life and takes it into her hands. So in this universe, the gnomes have invented coffee, and she was in a gnome city in one of her adventures, and she was like, oh my god, I did not know that I needed that, but I needed that. And we just follow her. It's just so cute. It's like this kind of fantasy domestic struggle kind of thing. We have some magic in there, and believing in luck or believing in yourself, and those kind of messages, and believe in your dreams and things like that. It's very cute, very wholesome. And yeah, if you just need a dose of warmth in your life, I actually can also recommend it. It's super duper cute, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. I think it's good. Like, if this would have been a huge book, I don't think it would have worked. It's the perfect size as is. We have interesting characters. We don't only have orcs, like I mentioned, we have gnomes, we obviously have humans, we have elves, a little bit different, and then your traditional J.R.R. Tolkien elves. And we also have succubus, which I kind of enjoyed. Like, before Witcher, I thought like succubus are not so often in fantasy and more in like the horror genre together with vampires. But yeah, we have a little bit of everything in here. So I loved it. It was cute. It was nice. I think I gave it 4 stars. So that's Legends and Lattes. Oh, I didn't say by Travis Baldree with 2 E's. I think I said that correct. All right, and lastly, book number 4. That was an interesting one, The Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. So this is a classic sci-fi, and okay, I'm gonna continue ramble because I need to talk about this. So when I read The Blur, I did not know what I was in for. So at first, when I started reading this, I was like, what the hell is this? And I almost put it away. It almost became a DNF. But then I was like, you know what? There must be a reason why it has. I think it has quite a high rating on Goodreads. Don't rightfully recall now. And I was like, there must be something to it. Like, why is this considered such a classic? Because for me, I just expected a regular sci-fi story, and it's not what it is. So it is sci-fi, but nothing regular about it. It's not like your adventure or kind of like fight scenes and things like that. It's very awkward and has meta commentary in it like hell. I will probably read 1 or 2 I marked. I don't usually annotate, but those I just had to because they blew me away, but they just stuck out. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of book. And so how to explain this book? So basically it's more of a collection of short stories, if you will, that are very loosely coupled. Like, there's some certain elements that like somehow connect, but yeah, it's not like your traditional chronological story order. And then in these short stories, like very weird shit happens. So I do have to say, if some of the things as examples, I wouldn't really consider them spoilers, but if you do, you can jump ahead. Hopefully I'll remember to leave a timestamp in the text to which time you can jump. How do people know that beforehand, to which time you can jump? Oh, okay, anyway. So like we have one story is like the first landing on Mars from people from Earth, and no, sorry, we don't even read about the first one. The second one, I think it is, and then they're like, go and knock on doors, just like that, like no self like being careful or something. They just go knock on doors like, hey, we're from Earth. So already that is like a very weird kind of vibe. Like they are armed, but like they go like, you just went to a new neighborhood on Earth, but you're on a new bloody planet with Martians. They look humanoid. It's hinted at that they are probably human, but different because they have telepathy, which so they often communicate without talking. And that's how they could then communicate, because it's mentioned more than once in the book that it's different languages, but because they can read minds, they somehow immediately learn English, basically. I don't know. Again, weird. And anyway, and they get annoyed because people ignore them. They're like, no, I don't have time, please go talk to, like, basically the mayor or whatever. I don't rightfully remember which title they... And then they send them to this person, and they're like, oh yeah, fine, I can talk to you. Okay, you landed here with a rocket, And so the story then continues in the end. Basically, they think they're mentally ill, that with their telepathy, with their that they have a really strong mind, that they conjured up the spaceship that brought. They keep calling it rocket, which is so cute. I think that's from the time when it's been written, because then we had probably the moon landing. Already happened, so it's constantly called a rocket, not a spaceship, which is funny to me. In more modern times, I always think of it as a spaceship. Anyway, and so they think they're like, yeah, they're mentally ill, like those poor creatures. They conjure up a rocket ship even so strongly telepathically that like the others can see it. And then he's like, oh, you poor souls, there's only one solution. Then he shoots them. I was like, what is happening? And it's just that kind of like, and like, so I was like, really, what the fuck am I reading? At times. But then like, I don't know what it was, so I kept reading, and then like, and I think once I was prepared on how weird it is, and that it's not just your regular sci-fi story and like chronological and all that jazz. I mean, I guess Martian Chronicles kind of hint at that it's not just the one story. But anyway, so once I was okay, now I know what I'm in for, sort of. So let's keep reading. And then I actually really enjoyed it. I was like, that's some really interesting commentary. And so, let's see if I can even read it in this light. It's actually quite dark. So one of the things that I really enjoyed, I would like to share. So you also get an idea, because again, it's important in this book that you have an idea what you read. So I will need to like look down in order to read, so I can face the book towards the light source. Okay. Okay, here it is. It sounds as if the Martians were quite naive, is one person saying. The next person says, only when you paid to be naive. They quit trying too hard to destroy everything, to humble everything. They blended religion and art and science because at base, science is no more than an investigation of a miracle we can never explain, and art is an interpretation of that miracle. They never let science crush the aesthetic and the beautiful. It's all simply matter of degree. An Earthman thinks, in that picture, color does not exist really. A scientist can prove that color is only the way the cells are placed in a certain material to reflect light. Therefore, color is not really an actual part of things I happen to see. A Martian, far cleverer, would say, this is a fine picture. It came from the hand and the mind of a man, inspired. Its idea and its colors are from life. This thing is good. So that's like kind of interesting thing, like that we try to over-explain everything, and I didn't like expect that kind of sort of like thingy. And the other one I liked even more, which here, who are we anyway? The majority, that's also a good one, majority topics. Always, just never wrong for one little insignificant tiny moment, is it? Never ever wrong in 10 million years, he thought. What is this majority and who are in it? And what do they think? And how did they get that way? And will they ever change? And how the devil did I get caught up in this rotten majority? I don't feel comfortable. It's claustrophobia, fear of crowds, or common sense. Can one man be right while all the world thinks they are right? Let's not think about it. Let's crawl around and act exciting and pull the trigger. There and there. That's also kind of a really cool thing. Like, yeah, how did this majority things happen? Why am I in it? Who decided I belong to the majority? And I don't know. So yeah. So after my first hurdle with this book, I really did enjoy it. Naturally, with all things that are like short stories, some are better than others. But all in all, I ended up really enjoying this. I think I gave it a 4 stars myself. So I would actually recommend it, but be aware of what you're getting yourself into. And yeah, so that's the Martian Chronicles by Ray Bradbury. Right? Bradbury. Sorry. I'm also getting tired, I realize. Maybe this wasn't the best idea. Oh well, now we're done. Those were my 4 books for August. My August books, so yeah. I hope you had a good August, and September reading is ongoing right now, and I'm especially excited for October because I have specifically selected horror books for October. I already know which ones I will get, so but first September, let's not push back September, so that will be my next video. But anyway, hope you're reading, hope you're doing well. See ya next time.